Hello, everyone. Over the last 3 months, we have gone through trainings, rigorous training from different facilitators. We had training from those in Nigeria, facilitators, lecturers in Nigeria. We had training from lecturers in the United States. And they've been talking about one thing, research writing in the field of leadership. Um, and I've had over 20 participants enrolled for this program. So I welcome you to the YLS oral presentation, and it's an opportunity to organize this again. This year we have participants from various schools and about three other African countries. But for a start, we'll be having the first group present their research on transformational leadership in the digital age, exploring how traditional models of transformational leadership adapt to the challenges and opportunities presented by digitalization and rapid technological advancement. All of this um, research work or project was to see how participants will apply what they had learned in their YLS training, in the entirety of the YLS training. So I'll pass it on to the group for them to present oral in have their oral presentation. So over to you guys.
Yeah, good day, everyone. Um, Thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Israel. We really appreciate. Okay, before we actually delve into the presentation for today, I want to use a single opportunity to appreciate Dr. Israel and the entire team of YLS program on this highly engaging program on leadership research. In fact, I must say that this program was both informative and thought-provoking. The program actually provided us a stimulating environment for us to share knowledge together, discuss current trends, and explore some cutting-edge research methodologies. In fact, one of the striking things of this program is that, it has a kind of noteworthy feature of having a global perspective. I mean, by featuring speakers coming from diverse cultural and geographical background, the program provided an excellent platform for cross-cultural exchange and deeper insights into universal and context-specific elements of effective leadership training. So on behalf of my colleagues, I want to say we are very grateful. So thanks for the opportunity and the platform for this program. Okay, our presentation this day, we're actually looking at transformational leadership in digital age, exploring how traditional model of transformational leadership adapts to the challenges and opportunities presented by digitalization and rapid technological advancement. For the benefit of, everyone participating who might be watching this program after now, I would just want to give an intro of what transformational leadership is all about so you can actually be able to understand the nitty-gritty of this research. When we talk about transformational leadership, before we delve into that, I want you to understand that this work was actually put together by 9 different scholars from different universities, cutting different disciplines. We have Okorocha Bright Odinaka from Nnamdi Azikiwe University studying medicine and surgery. We have Oyedele Rebecca Oluwatosi studying nursing from Lakode Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Oyo State in Nigeria. We also have Ashiru Mustafa Deniyi from University of Ibadan, studied pharmacy. We have Kaikiru Gloria from Makerere University from Uganda, studying biotechnology. We have Suleiman Mahaldin Olayinka from Federal University of Technology, Nigeria, studying chemical engineering. We have Yakubu Asami Miracle from Usman Danfolo University, Sokoto, studied actually biomedical laboratory science. We have Adenira Joshua Ayomide from Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, studying forestry and wildlife management. We also have Solihu Namutalai Omolora from Bio University, Kano, studying chemistry education. And finally, we have Obatu Sandra Wurola from University College Hospital, Ibadan, studying nursing. So we actually see that this is actually a program. These 9 persons actually contributed to the success of this research. Okay, back to the presentation. We are looking at, we put up together the topic, transformational leadership in digital age, exploring how traditional model of transformational leadership adapt to the challenges and opportunities presented by digitalization and rapid technological advancements. So for the sake of those who are actually looking into this program, or I mean the participants, or for those who are actually watching it in the future, I would actually want to give us an overview of what the work is all about and also what we mean by transformational leadership. Okay, transformational leadership is actually a style of leadership whereby the leaders engage and influence their followers or others by paying attention to their needs and raising their motivation, providing a kind of ethnical framework for their decisions. So in other words, transformational leaders, they try to be able to create change within people and within an organization. They actually component they look out for, they actually look at individualized consideration, they engage in intellectual stimulation, they engage in inspirational motivation and idealized influence. And considering how we see that how digitalization has been affecting different sector and parastatals of life, we also discover that transnational leadership has also been affected by the digitalization and the rapid technological advancements. So that's actually the reason for coming up with this work. We actually want to see of how has transformational leadership been in a disadvantaged position, and how has he also benefited in the face of the rapid technological advancements. So for the so I'm handing over to Rebecca to take over.
Okay, thank you. Good day, everyone. So I'll continue with the introduction part. As he has introduced us to the topic about transformational leadership, and what we are exploring is the influence or the impact of digitalization on transformational leadership. And for what we have here, we can see that we know that digital technologies are transforming dimensions and sectors like all over the world now. Digitalization has taken over. And for leaders, or do I say for sectors that have been thriving well before this time of digitalization, they have their principles they imbibe in. In fact, there are so many that that are doing well with using the traditional models, but the challenge that comes with digitalization, when they have to incorporate it into their system, it brings about some gap in knowledge and in practice. We know, like, go in traditional models of leadership, and there was a time and a season that it's more about the knowledge, it's more about what you maybe your certificates or what you carry. But in this digitalized world that we have now, it is more about skills. It is more about skills, and not just skills, but particularly digital skills. And that is the thing that is helping sector systems, leaders in various places to thrive at a time like this. So it is very essential and important for everyone, particularly leaders at every spheres of influence, to know and see how they can incorporate and bring out, make the positive sides of digitalization to affect their system. You know, we know that traditional leadership is vision driven and supportive leadership It is not a form of leadership that is focused only on the leader or only on the follower. It is a system that focuses on both the growth of the followers, the growth of the leaders, and the growth of the organization. So, and bringing in digitalization into the system, it's something that helps in the growth of the organization as a whole too. And there's a way it brings about flexibility, both to the work of the followers, the leaders, and it helps everyone to work well together. From what we have in the slide here, the second point is leadership scholars are studying the impact of digitalization processes, which includes firms' adoption or utilization of a mix of technologies like the Internet of Things, digital platforms, social media, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and big data to different degrees. Like manual works, manual labors are being replaced now by technology in every system, And any system or any sector that is not embracing these developments will be lagging behind. And it will be very difficult for that kind of system or sector to thrive at this particular time. In fact, many systems will be closed up if they will not embrace the system of digitalization. So in this study, we have actually looked into how digitalization can actually influence the organization. Hello.
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, I'm sorry, the network logged me out. Okay, so as I was discussing that we discussed in this our study, we discussed about the challenges, the opportunities that digitalization has brought into organizations and how leaders can make use of it to foster the growth of the organization, how followers they can measure on these measures to help them even in their relationship, both to improve on themselves and to improve on their skills, on the contributions they have to their organization. The rapid evolution of digital technologies has given rise to pressing concerns such as skill gaps and talent acquisition, and the demand for skilled professionals adapt at navigating the digital landscape has surged, creating a scarcity of such individuals. Organizations now face the arduous task of bridging skill gaps within their current workforce and attracting new talents proficient in specialized domains such as data analytics, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. So what the impact that the transformational leadership should embrace from digitalization focus majorly on talent acquisition and skill gaps, because skills are most essential now than any other form of knowledge. So I think I will stop here. Another point can be discussed under the literature review. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So this is now the literature review, like what other people have written about transformational leadership in the digital age. So for example, now we have like some studies have brought out like companies are implementing digital technology so as they can update their businesses and how they can operate. For example, through carrying out meetings using Zoom, using Meet, and through this they can also communicate easy among their members, and also through the Zoom meetings they can also cooperate with other people in other countries who may be having more experience about some specific issues, and through that they can get help and solve the problems easily. And also I see for an organization to be competitive and relevant in the digital age, it is necessary for it to establish a clear vision, strategy, and direction for the digital transformational journey. Like if, for example, for our transformational leadership, the leaders must have vision, must have strategies. So vision for you, for your business or for your organization, for it to, what will it have in the future? What are the strategies you are going to use for your organization to achieve its goals? Yeah. So again, another thing is like another study was that the digital change is greatly aided by the transformational leadership, and also the leaders the leader's primary duty is to encourage and inspire followers to adapt new technology. The leaders also must follow up with their members and encourage them to do their duties so that they can achieve their goals. Then the digital transformation is also a distinct type of organizational change process that uses digital technologies to restructure an organization's internal processes, workflows, how they will work, how they will operate. So the transformational leaders must use now, are using the digital processes to achieve their goals. Then also, the organizations need to develop policies that will help create a favorable environment for both their workers and also their clients they are providing services to. And through that, they can be able to achieve their goals. Another study also brought out that some benefits for the digitalization in the transformational leadership include boosting the staff productivity. Like how does the digital transformation boost the staff productivity? It is by the digitalization helping the people to use the digital tools like Excel, make maybe the worksheets, using bioinformatics that can make work easy for them so that they can easily accomplish their duties on time. Also, another study also brought about like for the digitalization alone cannot change the ways an organization works, but it is helped to achieve such a goal by the vision and the decision making of the organization's leaders. Like the organization leaders can be connecting the digitalization they are using, like the tools they are using, to their evolving need, what they want to achieve, to their evolving need for the organization, and through that they can be able to achieve their goals. Yeah, that is part of the literature review. So I thank you for listening, and I call upon Sulaiman to continue with the next slide.
And who is next, please?
Please, the next person can take over if it's not available.
All right, it's okay. So carrying because an increased number of companies implementing digital technologies in order to update their businesses model and
Yeah, Omolara, you need to be more audible.
okay, this Yakubo. Okay. An increased number of companies are implementing digital technology in order to update their business model and operational procedure. If we should notice, like recently, it is also this point is also
Can you please
adopted
speak up?
in
Can you speak up?
this point is also adopted in Africa, where you notice that most businesses, even small scale businesses, tend to involve digitalization into rendering service to individuals as well as the community. So you realize that a lot of small businesses, even larger ones, try to find a way to make things much more easier for accessibility, which brings forth the split of transformational leadership into the topic. Organizations need to develop policies which create a favorable environment for public organizations to be involved in designing their strategies rather than relying on top-down directives. From this point, we understand that organizations need to provide a suitable environment whereby um, their employees as well as the public are able to make an input into the development of the community rather than one person being at the top, giving much personal directives of how things should go about, how things should be done. That is drifting away from traditional methods whereby there's a specific procedure of how things are being done. But with transformational leadership being merged with digitalization, you notice that most team members are able to express themselves through traditional, um, sorry, um, through digitalization as well as transformational leadership. Um, Teams have been given the opportunities to expand themselves, to think outside the box, and then bring in more um, productivity personally, bringing in personal more productivity, therefore developing the company. Benefits of digitalization in transformational leadership, including boosting staff productivity and efficacy while allowing for flexibility. Um, for individuals, each team in transformational leadership is being nurtured differently because in transformational leadership, we are more focused on how to transform an individual, how to bring out the best out of someone, how to um, make someone see his potential far beyond what he or she thinks he can achieve. In that way, that person is able to think far beyond what the normal procedure, the normal methods that have been set aligned from things of before, and then being able to expand their thinking, being able to expand their mindset, bringing for much more productivity. While digitalization has changed the way in which every organization works, it has never alone changed an organization. Yes. um, if digitalization has come in the 21st century, almost everything is being digitalized. And even in hospitals, even in schools, we notice that almost everything has to involve digitalization. Recently, we noticed that in hospitals, you don't really have to see the physician physically to be able to get treated. Even your test, you can just stay at home, and then your samples are being sent, your results is sent to you, and it gives us reasons to be focused on how things to accept digitalization in this age. It has never alone changed an organization itself. It doesn't change the organization, but instead it improves the organization. The vision and the views of the organization still stays intact. What is helping an organization to achieve such a transition or shift is the vision and decision making for its leaders that connect. Like I said earlier, the fact that they're introducing digitalization still doesn't change the fact that a school is still a school, still doesn't change the fact that a hospital is still a hospital. The visions of this hospital, once it is clear and precise, still is maintained even with the introduction of transformation digital leadership. That's all I have to say. Yeah. Next.
Okay. Sorry for coming late. Okay. From the viewpoint of what has been done on this particular aspect. Yes, sir.
I think Suleiman is in a noisy place. Let's proceed with whoever is next, and we'll cover for him.
Okay, let me take the last part of the literature review. So talking about the benefits of digitalization in transformational leadership. Of course, rapid technological advancements has done a whole lot of good things to transformational leadership. Number one, we can actually see that there is boosting of staff productivity and efficiency. We can also see that there is fast and effective services. We can also see that it has lowered the operating costs as a result of transformational leadership, as a result of rapid digitalization. Again, we can see that there is now efficient, resourceful allocation, which wouldn't have been possible without the help of rapid digitalization. And again, we see that there are a lot of talents have been developed as a result of these technological advancements in transformational leadership. Because, I mean, distance is no longer a problem. You can actually be able to hold the program and you can discover talent, and a lot have been developed so far. Thank you. So next slide. So we see that in spite of the benefits offered, in spite of the benefit that technological advancements has offered to transformational leadership, there are some challenges also that leaders actually face in this digital transformation. Number one, we can see that some persons are actually very, very resistant to change. They keep on still want to be able to doing things the way it has been done before. And of course, they've been a retrogression in the organization. Again, we also see that so many persons that even lack of digital skills that would have been, that would have helped them to have benefited from digital transformation. Again, there are also lack of clear strategies. There are lack of clear strategy because organizations that have actually adopted the digital transformation are doing better. So it puts them in a disadvantageous position. Again, the last one, we also have communication challenges as a result of this because of language barrier and also having an ineffective communication. Next slide. So the literature review, we have been able to see that the leader who encourages a culture of change and drives organization diligently We also see that they've actually done very well. They've actually done very well, and it requires actually leaders with this qualification for them to be able to have a simple behavioral organization managerial skill. Because for you to be able to be a leader at this particular time, having this transformational leadership, there are some skills that you need to be able to develop for you to be able to thrive on the digital landscape in the face of this increased globalization. If not, you discover that such organization or such leader will not be able to meet up with what we have with be able to meet up with the challenges that the digital organization has actually brought about. So effective leadership in this digital age, it actually involves more than just having the managerial role or having the managerial skill. It also entails trying to be able to inspire transformation, advancing goals, and having to lead enterprise into the future filled with so many opportunities at this dispensation. Okay, the next slide, please. So we'll move over to the recommendation. At this point, I will hand over to my colleague to continue from here.
Okay, it's the recommendation now. In this part, it is recommended that leaders must have adaptive styles to thrive in this digital era. In this digital era that we find ourselves, you must be willing to create to have some styles, some abilities for you to thrive in this era. And those part of those abilities are commander. You have to be a commander. Not that you have to command and they have to just have to follow whatever you say and whatever your pattern that you've laid down and the process that you've laid down has to be followed. Then you have to be a communicator. A communicator they have to be an effective communication between the leaders and the follower. So there has to be effective communication that is flowing just so that you would always have updates on everything that is happening. You have to be a collaborator. A collaborator is you having to collaborate with other people or your followers for you to develop a genuine result, a great one at that, and a creator. These adaptive skills are vital in revolutionizing leadership patterns in this digital era. These adaptive skills help so much. They have to teach leaders a new pattern of leadership. So it helps them to thrive in this era that is digitalized, let me put it that way. Thus facilitating the utilization of emotional and intellectual qualities in solving current real problems. When transformational leaders actually submit to new patterns that they have been taught just to thrive in this digital era, it helps them with their intellectual qualities. It helps them increase their intellectual qualities in solving real life problems, current real life problems. I'll call in on the next person to continue.
Who's supposed to be the next?
I think Miss Solly was supposed to do that, sir.
So should I do it on the person's behalf?
Should I conclude, sir?
Let me.
So, yes, hello.
Yes, please conclude. Right.
Okay.
Okay, so another recommendation to foster the adaptation of transformational leadership is that organizations should invest in leadership development programs to strengthen their transformational leadership capabilities within their ranks. And the purpose of this is to foster an environment that helps their staff and even their CEOs, their managers, to foster a mindset that can help them to embrace the new technologies and the new innovations that are being developed day by day, because the world will always change and the world will always have to adapt to new things. So the best they can do is to ensure that they prepare their their managers and they prepare themselves for the opportunities or whatever challenges that may come their way as a result of these changes. This program should focus on developing skills such as visioning, adaptability, emotional intelligence, and effective communication. In this day and age, it goes beyond just having a degree or beyond just sticking to strictly academics or strictly what is in textbooks. There is a need for people, there is a need for leaders who can think outside the box, who can be innovative, because we can agree that artificial intelligence and technology in general can do a lot of the things, a lot of jobs today, and is even maybe putting some people out of work because they have not adapted, they have not evolved with the times. And so this is why there is emphasis for the skills development should be more towards adaptability, should be more towards envisioning where the world will be in 5, 10 years time and how they fit into that picture. Then the third recommendation is that transformational leaders should embrace technology and leverage it to drive organizational innovation and change. So I'll take a quote that Jeff Bezos once said. He said he's the founder of Amazon, and what he said is that what is dangerous is to not evolve. And it's true because change is something that we know to be very constant. And with the way the world is moving, it is moving towards digitalization. And if transformational leaders decide to stick to the traditional methods or the traditional ways that they have been doing things for the past 20 years, there is a high chance that they may not remain relevant, especially in this digital age. So there is a need for them to embrace technology rather than pushing it away, rather than seeing it as their enemy. For example, now many industries and fields are finding ways to incorporate AI. Let's take AI for example. Many industries I feel are are finding ways to incorporate AI into their business and finding ways to make it beneficial to them and make it work for them. Google has done the same. We see the this feature on WhatsApp. We see it on Bing. We see it everywhere. And what these companies and industries understand is that you need to learn to embrace what the world is coming up with. You need to learn to embrace the new innovations and changes. If not, eventually it will wash out all your hard work. And one thing that will always be constant is change, and evolution is the way traditional leaders can manage to stay relevant and adapt to the challenges and opportunities that are presented in these technological advancements. An example of someone who did the same thing was also Adobe. The Adobe Creative transitioned from selling perpetual software licenses to a subscription-based model with Adobe Creative Cloud. Now, Adobe was not always this mobile app. Now we have Adobe for laptops, we have Adobe Premiere Pro, which is used for mobile apps, and Adobe is used for editing, video editing, audio editing. But if they had stayed stagnant, if they are stayed rigid and not flexible enough to move with the times, they might have gone extinct. Let's take, for example, a phone like BlackBerry. BlackBerry was very, very much in range a couple years ago, especially here in Nigeria. Everybody will be, okay, what's your BBN number? What's your BBM number? And all. But because there was a new age that came, there was a new dawn that came on the evolution of mobile devices, and they weren't able to keep up. You'll notice that we do not hear a lot about them today. And another case is Netflix. Netflix is widely known to be a streaming website, streaming technology. And the reason for this is because initially Netflix was actually a DVD rental services when CDs were still, what was reigning and what was working. But the Netflix leadership saw the potential of streaming technology. And by embracing this new technology, Netflix was able to revolutionize the way people consume media. And they are leading they are taking the current position as the global leader in entertainment. So in conclusion, our topic says exploring how traditional models of transformational leadership can adapt to the changes and challenges presented in these present times. And the answer is simple.
to evolve, to move with the times, to maximize the opportunities, and to find innovative ways to face the challenges. These are the ways that leaders can stay relevant. These are the ways transformational leaders can stay and provide impact even in the present age, even with all the changes that are going on. The key is to evolve with the times. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. So right away, I would stop the recording and we'll move to, I'll give comments on what I think about your presentation and how you can be better.